Goldfish, friends, and fondness. Hello and welcome to 6 Minute English, the program where we bring you an interesting subject and 6 items of vocabulary. I'm Neil and I'm Karin. Now, this program is 6 minutes long. Yes, it's 6 minutes English, and we had a challenges for everyone. Can you stay focused for the full 6 minutes? So easy? Maybe not, because today we're talking about our attention spans. Are they thinking? That's right. So we asking today is the length of time we can focus on something. That's our attention span actually getting shorter. Now one study says that in fact its length. The human attention span is now shorter than that of a goldfish. Can that be true? Smartphone, the internet, social media, these are certainly they take up a lot of our attention. But how much? How long do we look at our mobile phones for in a day? On average, it A. Around 30 minutes, B. Around 2.5 hours, or C. Over 3 hours. I tend to be quite busy, but I know some people are really addicted to their mobile phones. So I'm going to say around 2.5 hours. That's answer B. Okay, so a report released by Microsoft said the average human attention span in 2000 were 12 seconds. Since then it's fallen to 38 seconds. Right, and that's a massive change in a very short time. Now the year 2000 was just before the boom in digital media and smartphones. So many things they are to blame for are these distractions. Now distractions are things which take away our focus, our attentions. Yes, and we mentioned goldfish earlier. Goldfish could probably have an attention span of 9 seconds. That's one more than force assesses humans with a mere 8 seconds. And that's a price. In English, we say to have the attention span of a goldfish or the memory of a goldfish. So this poor goldfish knew, yes, they get a bad dress, don't they? That a face, which means criticism, especially criticism in the media and especially in the newspapers or the press, as we call it. So it is really true that humans are now even more easily distracted than fish. Well, BBC radio program more or less recently investigated this plant. That's right, and they found out a couple of things. Firstly, they couldn't find evidence of the research that Microsoft wrote in their report. In other words, the program couldn't find scientific evidence that our attention spans are its fast thinking. And secondly, the psychologists that spoke to said there are problems with the idea of measuring attention spans in the first place. It's a term that's widely used, but it's not very scientific. So, fishy, yes, fishy means suspicious. By the way, sorry, goldfish again. So, are we humans in fact more easily distracted than before? More or less, ask Dr. Chamber Beach, which a psychologist at the Auburn University, if human beings are less able to focus these days. It's on down to the individual. It's on down to how you choose to apply your attention. So attention, switching ability may well have developed in recent years in the age of the smartphone and the internet. But because someone is distracted by their smartphone or wanting to quickly Google something, it doesn't mean that they then don't have the ability to control and sustain their attention when they carry out another task. So, she says, we're not necessarily more easily distracted. Indeed, we may actually be better at switching our attention quickly between different tasks. That's right, she really saying we can multitask better than before, and that means we can focus on many different tasks. It's for a shorter period of time. She said, it's on down to how you choose to apply your attention. Let's just highlight that phrase down to. Here it means depend on how you choose to apply your attention. So maybe our attention spans aren't rating shooter. We just choose to look at our phones a lot more. Which reminds me today's question. I asked you how long on average we spend looking at our phones, and you said, well, my attention span is not that short that I can't remember that I said 2.5 hours. And the answer, if you believe the research is 2.42 hours per day, so pretty good and good grades there, Karin. Thank you. That's come from Chicago-based research firm The Course. And what about this? The group they services touch their mobiles over 2,600 times a day. Do you touch your phones 2,600 times a day, Karin? I'm trying not to. What about you? It's probably more than that, to be honest. Now, I'm sure everyone wants to read but to touch their phones. Or maybe they even touching them now as they listen, but either way, let's have a review of today's phrase. Okay, so first we had attention span, that's the length of time we can focus on something, and mine is definitely shorter than it chooses to be. New. Sorry, I just got distracted there by a message on my phone. Apologies. That's right. So next up, we had a bad rest. Goldfish get a bad rest. Social media rest a bad rest. And this means they all get criticism in the media. And we have fishy. Is something fishy is suspicious. And we had multitask. To multitask is to do several things at once. Then we had down to his means depend on to each can means other things in another context. You could say it's on down to the context, and that are with review and our program for today. So did you stay focused on the way through, or were you distracted? If you are looking for distraction, may recommend our Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube pages. Goodbye. Bye bye.